Hello, welcome to another episode of Hot Tracks. JB and I are live. I'm Nick Van Zanten.
I'm JB West. Thanks for hanging with us. This is our 10th episode. Congratulations.
Yep. And finally, we got a comment from one of the teachers here at Hudsonville High School, Mr. Bob Henning. And I showed him our first episode, and he really liked it. And he said, "Nick, what a neat product. You reviewed some groups I really liked when I was in high school, ... partially Boston. And I didn't realize Steve Perry was no longer with Journey. Thanks for sharing, Mr. Henning." No problem, Mr. Henning. Glad I could share it with you.
Yep. As you can clearly tell from the moment we started, we heard a little bit of Tony Basil and Mickey, and you know what today is, right?
Yeah. Today, JB and I are doing a retro 80s.
Rightio. So, break out the 80s records, 45s, anything you can think of that has 80s music in it, because we got a terrific show lined up.
Yep. And starting off, Essential 80s. This is a compilation CD. I especially love the cover on this CD because it's a soda bottle. And we're going to be rating the song Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield.
All right. From the show that started it all when I first saw it, VH1's The Big 80s. We'll be rating this hit that'll get you moving and grooving. The latest from the Go-Go's, a real classic hit. Lead singer Belinda Carlisle has a powerful voice. You're going to like it.
Yep. And I brought classic rock of the 80s back. We're going to be rating the song Urgent by Foreigner. And continue on next.
Okay, from the second album, more of the big 80s. We'll be doing, I don't know if any of you are still fans of A Flock of Seagulls, but they're good, and their classic is going to be terrific. The hit we're going to be rating is I Ran So Far Away.
All right.
Maybe you'll recognize it.
Yep. And this is the last one that, for me, that I'm going to do. This is Radio Hits of the 80s. And from this CD, we'll be rating the song Walk Like an Egyptian from the Bangles.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with them lately. Maybe we'll find out later on.
Maybe you ought to know, because I think you're a big Bangles fan.
Yeah. From Arena Rock. Oh, you're going to like this hit. And I picked this hit because I think it has a little silver domish in it. We're going to be doing Asia and the hit Heat of the Moment.
And I'll explain to you what the word silver domish means after when we come back from the break. But right now, we're going to start off with Essential 80s and the song Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield.
Okay?
Jesse is a friend. Yeah, I know he's been a good friend of mine. But lately something's changed, it ain't hard to define. Jesse's got himself a girl and I wanna make her mine. And she's watching with those eyes, and she's loving with that body, I just know it. And he's holding her in his arms late at night. You know I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Where can I find a woman like that? I'll play along with the charade. There doesn't seem to be a reason to change. You know I feel so dirty when they start talking cute. I wanna tell her that I love her, but the point is probably moot.
All right, that was Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield. That is a good song, especially it sounds silver domish, because it's on that CD that I compiled the day of Thanksgiving. Actually, it's not my compilation, someone else did that. It's a various artists CD. But I give that song 4.5 stars.
Let's see. This song really moved. I did see the video. This was way back. But I did see the video. But Rick Springfield did something, you know, it goes like this. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. What kind of woman want that?
Why can't I find a woman like that?
Yeah, there you go. I gotta remember my 80s trivia very quickly.
Yeah, You know, I think he's representing about a guy who's very jealous of his friend Jesse because Jesse's got a girlfriend and he doesn't. And he wants to make his friend's girlfriend his because she looks right at him with those good-looking eyes.
Mm-hmm. Sort of like a hypnotizement.
I'm
going to give it, yeah. I think it's a good hit. I'm probably going to give this one, that hit, 5 stars on that one. Because I think I liked the video and I saw how the music describes what the story is all about between Rick Springfield and Jesse's girl.
And Jesse.
And Jesse. Okay, time to move and groove, everybody. I got this hit from the big 80s, the show that started it all. The #1 song I picked is from the Go-Go's. So if you think you know this hit, then everybody's got the beat. As a matter of fact, the song is We've Got the Beat. So here they are, the Go-Go's. All right, there you go. The Go-Go's, We've Got the Beat. That song rocks, even way back in the early 80s. I liked it. That's why I call it a classic. The head singer of the Go-Go's is Belinda Carlisle, and does she have a really powerful voice. I'm going to give this 5 stars.
Well, have you heard Belinda Carlisle's song, Heaven is a Place on Earth?
Yeah, I heard it.
Well, you know, I think the drummer for the Go-Go's is Gina Schock, or wasn't she with them back in the 80s?
No, I think Gina Schock was back with them in the 80s, but I don't know. It kind of sounded like she helped her out on that song as well.
Well, Gina Schock is a really good drummer, but, you know, you'll love to move to her moves. 4 1/4 stars would do the fine.
4 1/4, huh? All right. Well, that's what we like about new ratings here. Okay. Your turn.
Right.
Your turn.
Continuing on, I brought the CD back like I mentioned at the beginning. Classic rock of the 80s. We'll be hearing another Foreigner song, which will be Urgent. That was Urgent by Foreigner. We didn't hear much of it, but the chorus goes, you say it's urgent, and there's instrumental, so urgent. You know it's urgent, 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 just you wait and see how urgent my love can be. That's the chorus. I've always loved that Foreigner song. Originally, when I first heard that song, that was played on a Burger King commercial. And I love the way how that sounds. This is a true fact, nothing to be laughed at for. But I give that song 5 stars.
You said before, Foreigner did a Burger King commercial on that same song. I think that was back in what?
That was in the 90s when they
90s, somewhere in the 90s.
when that song played on a Burger King commercial.
Yeah.
Also, Sheena Easton's "My Baby Takes the Morning Train."
Really? Wow.
But it wasn't the same commercial. But at the end of the Burger King commercial, when they played the Foreigner song, the Burger King logo went round and round like a normal siren does on a normal ambulance and a police car. Not normal ambulance, on an ambulance.
Yeah, so once again, Foreigner scores perfect with that hit. Urgent, I have that on the Arena Rocks compilation CD, and the hit kind of like moved, and may I say, it's good. I like it. 5 stars.
Okay.
Okay, more 80s. This is, of course, you know, this is a retro 80s show here on Hot Tracks, so in case any of you are tuning in. And the next hit we're going to be doing is a Flock of Seagulls. Now, I don't know if any of you are still familiar with this group, but I kind of like remembered this hit from them. The hit we're going to be doing is called I Ran So Far Away, so here they are.
I walk along the avenue. I never thought I'd meet a girl like you. Meet a girl like you. With auburn hair and tawny eyes. The kind of eyes that hypnotize me through. You hypnotize me through. And I ran so far away.
Okay, that was a Flock of Seagulls with I Ran So Far Away. Good hit. I don't know, like I said, any of you are Flock of Seagulls fans here? Any of you may have not even heard this song, but it's nice to go back and hear this song, like I did. I like it. It's a good hit. Kind of makes you want to move. So I'm going to give this one 5 stars.
Well, now, I remember hearing that song on the radio. It could have probably been played on I-96 or any other radio station that I listened to, because I-96 plays 80s and 90s.
Yep.
So I'll give that song 5 stars as well.
Yeah, anybody who's a big Flock of Seagulls fan here, you know, pick up the classic rock probably. Like they might be labeled under classic rock now.
Well, you know, that song I think sounded a bit Silverdome-ish at first as well. But it's probably been a long time since I've heard that song. Never even thought of compiling that on a CD I made called 80s Music of the Silverdome.
Wow. Got to bring that in sometime.
Maybe I will, but I don't think we're going to be showing the cover on the TV screen.
All right. Okay.
But now we come to my last CD, Radio Hits, the very best of the 80s. We'll be hearing Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles.
All the old paintings on the tomb, they do the sand dance, don't you know? If they move too quick, they're falling down like a domino. All the buzz are men by the Nile, they got the money on a bet. Gold crocodiles, they snap their teeth on your cigarette. Foreign types with the hookah pipe say, walk like an Egyptian. The blonde waitresses take their trays and spin around and they cross the floor.
All right, now we just heard Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles. I love the way how that's harmonized. So I give that song 5 stars.
Walk Like an Egyptian. That's I like to call it an oldie but goodie. Mostly, you know, everybody I think is still trying to do that sort of trend. Walk Like an Egyptian. Maybe mostly nowadays. But I think I like this hit very well. So I'm going to give this 5 stars. I don't know when any of you Bengal fans know what's going on, but I think they have their website to check it out.
I think so. Do you know exactly what the website is?
Should be www.bengals.com. Should be.
Oh, well. Well, we will be right back after these messages. And,
hold on.
What? Wait a minute. That's right.
Hello. So okay, so we had some bleeps and blunders here, but we come to my CD yet, Arena Rock from the big 80s. The hit we're going to be doing is Asia and Heat of the Moment. So you'll find this hit Silver Dome-ish as well. So here it is.
I never meant to be so bad to you. One thing I said that I would never do. A look from you and I would fall from grace, and that would wipe the smile right from my face. Do you remember when we used to dance, and incidents arose from circumstance? One thing led to another, we were young, and we would scream together songs unsung. It was the heat of the moment, telling me what my heart meant. The heat of the moment.
Okay, that was Heat of the Moment from Asia. The chorus goes, it was the heat of the moment, telling me what your moment, the heat of the moment showing in your eyes. Good hit. And like I said, this hit is not only labeled on the Arena Rock album, but Asia back then also did the Asia Anthology. And you'll find lots of hits, including Heat of the Moment. Maybe some hits you knew, and some hits probably you didn't. But I like this hit, and I'm going to give this 5 stars.
I am going to give that 5 stars as well. But to give you a secret, Heat of the Moment's also on Classic Rock of the 80s as well. And there's a secret for that band. For those of you who don't know this, Steve Howe, who plays guitar for Yes, was in Asia. And he was playing guitar in that song as well.
No way.
Yes way, Ted.
All right.
Well, to finish my story,
Yeah.
and Jeff Downs was a Yes member too, but that was only in the early 80s, 80 and 81. But then when Yes broke up, he and Steve Howe went to go form Asia. John Wetton joined, and Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer joined in as well.
Wow. So that's how they formed the group Asia.
That's right. And so, we will be right back after these messages,
The mystery CD is next.
and I will also give you the meaning of the word Silver Dome-ish.
This is Hot Tracks.
If you want to stay informed of what's happening in your community, then your Grand Valley Advance newspaper is what you've been looking for. This weekly newspaper is packed full of area news stories, sports, syndicated columns, recipes, classified ads, announcements, display advertisements, coupons, and of course, garage sales in the community. Your courteous delivery person cheerfully brings your Grand Valley newspaper every Tuesday, and WCET would like to thank the Grand Valley Advance for their support through the years. The Grand Valley Advance is your weekly community newspaper.
Hi, I'm Larry Trees, President of Healthcare Associates and Community Caregivers. Many of you know someone who may need extra help to stay at home, whether it's bathing, medications, meal prep, personal care, or even transportation. We can assist you with living at home. Call us at 531-9973 for information on our home care services. Some services for home care are covered by Medicare.
All right, we're back on Hot Tracks now. Once again, I'm Nick Van Zanten.
And I'm JB West, and this is the 80s show.
Yep, the retro 80s, but we have a mystery CD for you. JB and I don't know what's going to be played, but we're going to show you folks at home what it is while it's being played. Let's hear the mystery song.
Okay, here we go.
Nothing more than feelings, trying to forget my feelings of hate. Imagine beating on your face, trying to forget my feelings of hate. Feelings, all my life I'm feeling. Wish I never met you, you'll make me sick again.
All right, we just heard the mystery CD. I know it's a remake of a oldie classic, probably sung long ago, like in the 40s, 30s, or 50s. I think they must have redone it in the decade that's our topic, the 80s. But I am not too sure, but this could be some kind of punk rock band doing this remake.
Yeah, I mean, you should check out the drummer. He was like pounding away at the drums like so hard, like you wouldn't believe it's nonstop drumming probably for this mystery group.
Exactly. But I know the song is called Feelings. Let's hear from our director.
You're 50% right on the name. You guys have any idea who the group is?
No.
No idea?
Could it be Blink-182?
No. Offspring.
Offspring. Okay. Here's a lesson from Offspring. Never take an oldie but goodie and remake it. Never take an oldie but goodie and remake it. That's the lesson from the group Offspring.
You guys know when the original Feelings was made?
When was the original Feelings first made?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I was thinking, he's thinking the 30s and 40s, somewhere in the 30s and 40s. I'm probably thinking more like
70s.
More 70s.
More 70s, huh? Yikes. I think you and I were a little way off. I was thinking probably I was thinking 50s and 60s.
I was thinking that too. Actually, no, I was not. 30s and 40s. Well, whatever this is, 1 star for the Offspring from remaking this song, because originally I've never heard them ever do a remake before.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that here because, you know, who would have thought, I mean, I'm speechless. Let me try that again. Who would have thought that the head singer of Offspring was going to go ahead and remake that hit? So I'm going to just really majorly lower the level. 1 star.
I just said the exact same thing, 1 star. And now I have to tell you the meaning of the word Silverdome-ish.
Okay.
And the story goes, I came across Essential 80s, what we just rated today, and owner of A Lonely Hearts on here. Well, I've always loved that song, and this is a various artist CD, like I mentioned. And so I've heard all the songs from this CD before, and there was the day of Thanksgiving 2 years ago. I went to my mom's cousin's house for Thanksgiving, and I thought of the 80s songs that I heard, and I really liked them, and they sounded Silverdome-ish. And 2 years ago, the Hudsonville Eagles were really good when we made it to the Silverdome for the 2nd time.
The 2nd time.
Back when Greg Immink was the quarterback.
Okay.
And so while I listened to the songs, I'm thinking to myself, they sound a bit Silverdome-ish. And so I loved them by the minute. And so I thought of the songs while going all the way to Pontiac with my dad to watch the football game. And I thought of the other 80s songs there as well while I was watching the game. But when we arrived, the sun was shining brightly down on the dome. And that's what made me think of other 80s songs like Urgent by Foreigner. We rated that. And so forth.
Amazing.
So that's what came about the word Silverdome-ish.
Okay, speaking of the essential 80s, I think, Nick, you'll start us off with the recap.
Yep, this time I remember what ratings I gave my CDs. We heard Essential 80s, Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl. 4.5 stars is what I gave it. I remember exactly when I did it.
Uh-huh, and I gave that 5. Now we come to the Go-Go's with We Got the Beat. And everybody here who says that, you know, that they've got the beat, it's a good album from the Go-Go's. I don't think anything's going on with them lately, so keep it tuned. We'll let you know what's going on with the Go-Go's. But in the meantime, me and Nick gave this 5 stars.
I did not give that 5 stars. I must have given that 4.25.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay, I think you remembered, like you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, classic rock of the 80s. And we heard Urgent by Foreigner. I gave that 5 stars. JB did too.
Okay, more of the big 80s. A Flock of Seagulls and I Ran So Far Away. A super hit from the Flock of Seagulls. I don't know what's going on with them lately. Maybe something new. But in the meantime, me and Nick, we gave that song I Ran So Far Away from A Flock of Seagulls 5 stars.
Yep. Now for Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles. JB and I gave that 5 stars. This was from Radio Hits, the very best of the 80s.
Okay, Arena Rock, and the meaning of the word silver domish, as he says. The hit we heard was one of them, Asia and Heat of the Moment. Good hit. Me and Nick gave that one 5 stars.
And for the mystery CD, Offspring did the song Feelings, a remake of the oldie. JB and I both gave that 1 star.
1 lonely star, I should say, because I think Offspring could do a lot better instead
1
of...
lonely star.
But I think we could do a lot better, or they could do a lot better when they learn fast, you know, never to remake a classic.
Exactly, because that's not really their style. Their style is like songs like Pretty Fly from a White Guy. Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Yeah, they did. Pretty Fly for a White Guy, Come On and Play. So many hits from Offspring.
Well, that's been the 10th episode, and tune us in next week. JB and I will see you next time.
All right, you take care.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. 'Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. See, we can go where we want to, places they will never find. And we can act like we come from out of this world, leave the real one far behind. We can dance. We can go if we want to. Night is young and so am I. And we can dress real neat from our hearts to our feet and surprise them with a victory cry. Say, we can act if we want to. If we don't, nobody will. And you can act real rude and totally removed, and I can act like an imbecile. Say, we can dance, everything's out of control. We can dance, we're doing it from pole to pole. We can dance, everybody look at your hands. We can dance, everybody's taking the chance.
Brian's a student that I had in my resource class. Came from a very poor background. Brian just needed a friend, so we paired him with a community leader. He would take him to rodeos, and then he would take him to plays and different things that this child would never have been exposed to. This man taking his time to come and have lunch with him meant more than anything.
Point a kid in the right direction. This is General Colin Powell of America's Promise. Call us and help keep America's Promise.